Okay, welcome back to Amazing Reality Channel. We want to appreciate those who have been following us as subscribers and those who have been with us through this story series. It has been awesome. It has been amazing. Alright, we thank you very much. If you've not been following us, please do like our videos, subscribe, and comment in Amazing Reality. This is the continuation of our story series. If you've not watched the part 1 of this marriage matter story between Matthew and Lynda, please do watch the part 1. Make sure you watch the part 2. This is the part 3. We are waiting for the part 4. Follow it so you were able to understand it, get the lessons and the morals. Alright? Continuing this story, this is the part 3 of this story. Alright? You will understand better if you've watched the part 1 and part 2. Okay, so yeah, Matthew resumed work already. Then few weeks after the resumption at work, so Matthew requested for just few days leave from work, which was granted, with a major aim for Matthew going home to see the love of his life. So this was granted, and Matthew left and went down to the base of Lynda to see the love of his life. Arriving there was a great joy. It was a day of happiness. It was a day of celebration. Lynda was glad to receive Matthew once again and to see him once again after a long while. Alright, arriving there the next morning. So the next morning, Lynda took Matthew to the shop, which was opened earlier for her. Took him there, and in fact, it was a glorious day indeed. Lynda was glad and happy to introduce Matthew to the 6 girls as her husband to be, and Matthew was happy and overwhelmed, seeing how everything has been moving, the shop not squandered, instead growing and moving. Just the same thing that Lynda has been telling him was what he saw. The shop was actually booming, expanding, greater than the beginning. So they were happy, they rejoiced and celebrated together. Few hours later, they returned back home. So that evening they agreed to have a very important discussion, which goes like this. Matthew said, let's plan for marriage. I think this is the high time to do that. So they discussed together, planned and agreed to go to the village the next day to see Lynda's parents. Okay, the next day they went ahead to the village. When you have everything with you, movement is easier. So they went to the village, met Lynda's parents. They were overwhelmed. It was a day of celebration, and everyone else that saw them, this was their statement. This people's story has finally changed. Actually, the end justified the means. Yes, they were glad to see that their present development. They were happy. So right there, seeing the parents of Lynda, they talked, rejoiced together. All the mockeries of the past has now turned to celebration and happiness, and they were all congratulating them. So right there, they discussed with the parent and fixed the date of their marriage. Yes, they fixed the date of the. So the date of the marriage was fixed right there, to be the next month, which is going to be in November, which was November 28. It was fixed, and they couldn't actually sleep at the village that day. They returned to the base of Lynda, went back home, stayed there, and the next morning Matthew returned to Abuja. Communication kept on as they were both planning and preparing for their forthcoming marriage or forthcoming wedding, perhaps. So these they kept communicating, preparing themselves for the celebration ahead of. Time flies. Time flies. Here comes the month of November, and the marriage finally came. It was done. It was celebrated. It was one of its kind in that community. One of its kind in that community. Everyone was there. In fact, Matthew was an orphan. It wasn't it was not shown, because all his friends, the co-doctors, named them friends. In fact, people gathered and celebrated with him. So it was a great success and a huge celebration. At the end of the marriage, at the end of the ceremony, they both returned to Abuja. But before then, they handed over the supermarket to a very committed sales girl, to Andrew. They handed it over to her to manage it and to handle it while they returned to Abuja. It didn't end there. Watch out for the last part of this story. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Amazing